Hello and welcome to Rock Solid Productions, where in this episode we are going to talk about the CharJenPro Switch Hub for the Nintendo Switch. Hey everyone, Gary here with Rock Solid Productions, and if you saw our recent unboxing video of the CharJenPro Switch Hub, you know that it is really undoubtedly one of the smallest, if not the smallest, portable docks out there for the Nintendo Switch. It's got a lot of really great features, which we're going to go over right now. One of the things about the CharJenPro Switch Hub, again, first and foremost, is the size. Let's take a look at the dock itself versus the stock dock. It is minuscule as far as the overall size. Now, unlike some of the other docks that are out there, and I'm going to pick on the Insignia dock for the Switch, this only has your USB-C, your HDMI out, and one USB input port on it, and that's it. This one retains all the existing ports from the stock dock. So you have your USB-C for power, you have your HDMI output, you have your USB 3.0 on the back. You also have USB 2.0 on this side and this side here. This dock is also designed to help keep your Switch cool. There's a ton of venting around each side, and there's even vents in the back of the dock itself too, all to help dissipate and radiate heat out and away from your Nintendo Switch. Above and beyond that, one of the really cool things about this dock is the fact that you have this little button right here, and when you push it, it'll turn blue. It's got a little blue light around this part here. And when you actually have the blue light on, it is connected to your TV, and you can play like normal when it's docked. But when you have it out, it will still charge. And when I say out, the light is out when you hit the button. It'll still charge your Switch, but it'll hold it at a convenient angle for you so you can play in desktop mode. It's a great way to go ahead and utilize one dock to do two things. I know many people like, some of these docks because you can charge while playing, but they can't hook up to the TV, and some of them that hook up to the TV, you can charge and play, but it will go through to the TV unless you disconnect the HDMI output on there. Overall construction is pretty solid. It's molded composite on the top here and the bottom, a couple screws that hold everything together. Overall, pretty well put together little device. Now we are going to go ahead, and this is just our review, so we're going to cover just some gameplay footage in here. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, because later on we are going to do a comparison video that compares the video output of the CharJenPro Switch Hub to the stock dock, to the Nyko dock. I've had people correct me because I call it Nyko, I always have, but the Nyko docks, and then the Insignia dock from Best Buy as well. So let's hook this up, let's drop our Switch in it, and let's get some gameplay in. So up first we have Sonic Mania, and this is in the Switch Hub from CharJenPro, and there you can see the opening movie and animatics and everything. Here is the splash, looks pretty good. And we're going to go through and just do the first level. Basically what I'm going to do in this first one is I'm going to take you through the first level on... Now the TV I am playing on is my standard, it's just a 1080p television, but I mean the colors do look decently on here. I mean, I'm not seeing... There's nothing bad that the Switch Hub is doing over what the stock dock would be doing. I mean, there's no extra lag, latency, or delay or anything. And you guys hear me talk about latency and delay a lot on these videos. And I mean, it's an important factor on here. You need to make sure that you don't have, a negative playthrough experience. So we're gonna switch things up. See what I did there, switch things up. We're going to go to Double Dragon 4. Now Double Dragon 4, definitely in the vein of Double Dragon 2 and 3. Character sprites actually look, I'd say, more like the original Double Dragon, which I'm fine with because that was a great game. Although if you really want to play the arcade version of Double Dragon, you can do so with the Retrobit Super Retrocade, because that has both the arcade versions of Double Dragon and Double Dragon 3, I believe it's on there. So with Double Dragon 4 out of the way, we're going to fire up one last game. And please note, there's not going to be any audio here because I don't want to get any copyright strikes. But we're going to fire up Breath of the Wild because that is the one game that CharGenPro really says makes the biggest difference with the SWITCHUB. So let's get into probably one of my least favorite games, but let's get into Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So we're going to go to Kakariko Village. I never say that right. So looking down on Link, you can see the water and how the dust and everything is flowing or blowing around. So just kind of go through here a little bit. See the fog and the mist rolling in. Looking at the details on the trees and the apples and everything. I mean, just a stunningly beautiful game, especially for something that was a launch title. I'm just not a fan of the story and the gameplay. It's a little bit more, it's too traditional RPG, and there's too much grinding. Check out my 6 months later video on the Nintendo Switch. You can hear my views on Breath of the Wild, but it is a beautiful game. If anything, it looks a little bit more cel-shaded than what I recall. And again, just to avoid any copyright issues, I'm not going to have any audio playing right now. Hey, listen! There you can kind of see, I mean, looks really sharp. And then we'll just take a look, we'll sit longingly by the fire here. So there you have it, some gameplay footage with the CharGenPro SWITCHUB. And as you saw, it looks really sharp, I would say, and I've done side-by-side comparisons looking at this compared to the other three docks that we have here on our entertainment center here. It looks as good, if not better, depending on the game, than the stock dock, and definitely looks better than the Insignia dock and the Nyko dock as well. It actually does really look quite sharp. I wasn't expecting the improved visuals, but that's one of the things that CharGenPro has really kind of hit on, is that they feel that this will actually yield a better looking picture on your television than what a lot of other docks may have. Now, with the CharGenPro SWITCHUB, you will need to purchase an HDMI cable and a power supply separately. I really recommend for that solution, obviously any HDMI 2.0A cable, whatever length you need, that'll be fine. But I'd really recommend going with the OEM Nintendo power supply for this. That way you make sure that you have clean power going to it and you don't risk potentially sending too much current or not enough current to power and charge your Switch and the hub itself. Worked perfectly with everything that I threw at it, whether I was playing games that I had downloaded or whether I was playing cartridges too. So overall, a pretty good dock. I do wish that they'd bring the price down a little bit. It's about 50 bucks right now, and you can find it at the affiliate link down below through Amazon. And the only reason why I say I wish it would come down a little bit in price is simply because it doesn't come with an HDMI cable or a power supply. But you're paying to get those slightly enhanced visuals too. So there's a balance to be had there. The other thing to keep in mind is if you do buy the SWITCHUB at, roughly $50, and, prices fluctuate depending on, if there's sales or other things like that, you're looking $90 for the OEM Nintendo dock. So even if you purchase the SWITCHUB from CharGenPro, an HDMI cable, and a power supply, you still have less invested monetarily than you do with this dock here. You have the same compatibility and everything. And the other thing to keep in mind, again, it's a fraction of the size. The other thing this also eliminates too is people who are concerned that the stock dock will scratch up your Switch. This, because of its overall design, it won't do that. It pops right in and it's ready to rock and roll. So that's my opinion and my review here of the CharGen SWITCHUB from CharGenPro. And again, I do want to thank them for providing the unit for review. If you do have any questions, or if you want to send products in for us to review and evaluate, our contact information is down below in the more info section. You can email us at rocksolidmail@gmail.com. Hit us up on Twitter at RockSolidStudios, and as always, you can also visit us on Facebook, facebook.com/RockSolidProductions. If you do also want to help contribute to the future of Rock Solid Productions, you can do so by visiting us on our Patreon page, patreon.com/RockSolid. For as little as $1 a month, you can contribute financially to the future of our show, so that way we can continue to purchase docks like this to check out, or other docks that are out there, software, accessories, what have you. A little bit does absolutely go a long way. So the CharJenPro SWITCHUB does exactly as advertised. Great desktop dock, great dock to hook up to your TV too. Overall, worked extremely well. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.